Sheila.
Sorry, I'm using my husband's computer, so
No worries.
how are you?
I'm good. I can barely hear you. Just a second.
Okay.
Maybe move the microphone.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. I'm not used to this. I'm not a podcaster.
Oh, is your husband a podcaster?
No, he's not. He's well, actually, no, he is. Sorry.
Okay, nice.
He started something with his cousin, and they do movies and Laker games. So it's
Nice.
been fun. Yeah. How are
Nice.
you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm really good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for this session. I'm really excited. I've been watching you for about over a month now. And
Thank you.
yeah, like 60 plus videos at least.
All
Yeah.
right. So, Sheila, tell me your seeking story. What got you here?
So what has it been? Since the 90s, I started with Eckhart Tolle, typical, um, and then I, Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks. That was something I enjoyed listening to. Um, yeah, it's always about like energy
Okay.
work, just, increasing my energy, being positive, and basically it's a doing. It's
Yeah.
always been a doing.
Yeah.
And then also with like who's the other guy? The meditations, lots of meditations with, you know what? I made a list. Sorry, I knew I was gonna blank out. But basically that's what it's always been. And finally, how I learned about you, yeah, The Secret, Joe Dispenza, all this great. You know what, Stephen Walensky, funny enough, that was a point where um, the no state. I thought that was so cool. I
Hmm.
just didn't know what to do with it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, you're busy trying to progress in life and the subject object mode, just making more, increasing your energy, just
Yeah,
really,
it's always
yeah,
like an attainment, an addition, a
exactly.
procurement of something, right? So it's I if you probably hear me say that it's like a hoarding of concepts, of
Yeah.
ideas. And
Yeah.
you were saying that you found me through?
Well, David Bingham was the last.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so for 2 years, I've been following him and well, I mean, just listening to his videos, but really that was, I would say, the awakening for me.
Hmm.
Um, and I just since I listened to him, I didn't even have a session. I watched a couple of his videos and I thought, okay, wow, I've
Yeah.
always been this. I can't believe it. And all I need to do is just focus on things that make me happy and effortless being, which I really love the idea of not having to work hard to
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
attain it.
Yeah.
So that's really and then of course this we have a WhatsApp chat, whatever it is, and there's this guy Zane, an adorable sweet guy. He's always talking about you. So yeah, it was about a month ago. I think I started getting very frustrated with work and again went back into my head.
Yeah.
And the thing with David was really nice is he would really tell us just, you need to be respectful to yourself, do things that make you happy. So I thought, okay, effortless being and do things that I like.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm going to follow this. But then when we have challenges in life, and I've heard your story as well, all of a sudden it's not that fun anymore. And you have to
Yeah.
do things that are challenging or you have to deal with them. And so that's
Because it's
basically
not effortless all the time.
no,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not exactly.
Yeah.
So
And it just becomes a narrative. And I think um that what he's trying to express is clear, you know what I'm saying? But when it reaches the seeker's point of view, then it becomes a belief system.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
the I guess that's the pitfall for a lot of people that are have subscribed to any kind of narrative about this. No matter how clear it is, or even some people kind of like doing the in between, you know what I'm saying, can fall into that trap too. Um, but the trap is that any landing is a trap.
yeah.
Anything is a trap. Any mental fabrication is a trap, right? So if you just go really directly um, between efforting and non-efforting, what's there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that direct.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I watched the 60 of your videos, so I've been trying to do it with, everybody that you
Yeah,
speak about this, but hmm,
yeah, and another way is just what do you without the observer?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very subtle, right? So often bypassed or overlooked because the mind is going in opposites. So the mind will say, "This is it," or "This is not it." So
right,
to beat it in its own game, what's in between? This is it, and this is not it.
right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I know you always say there's no landing, and I'm
Hmm.
assuming you're not calling it anything,
Yeah.
is what you're saying. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, I get in the habit of saying, well, this makes me happy, or this doesn't
That's
make me
right. Yeah.
happy. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you've heard me say this before, but a good thought and a bad thought is still a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's in between the good thought and a bad thought? Yeah.
I'm short circuiting. I don't know what's going on. That's so funny. Okay. And here's the next question, which
Sure.
is typical. What do I do when this happens again?
What's between doing and not doing?
Mm.
It has nothing to do with the
Yeah.
doer or the non-doer, right? So it's
Mm.
I guess the culmination of my seeking years, right, has exposed me to many different opposites of everybody was saying. Because one person would say, "There's no doer," and you're like, oh, "Okay, how do I do that?"
Yeah.
And then one person would say, "You know what? It's effortless. Then how do I become effortless?" So it always proposes a next. So the magic, I guess, of the in between is that it doesn't give you a next. It doesn't give you
It's
any suggestion. It doesn't give you any landing, right? Because if you go in between this and not this, when you go in directly into it, because what happens, right, is then you see that this and not this are just both thoughts. And you see that there's really no opposite. And the one that's seeing it, if you take away the observer, what's seen?
mhm.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Yeah. And then even take away that language, nothing, because that could be another landing, right? It could be another, I realize nothing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pesky, the persistent um I narrative is like goes underground sometimes, right? Like for example, when you had that initial awakening, so to speak, right? It was well and dandy, and then it started making a case for you said something that what was your landing for the good things or
Well, these things make me happy,
yeah, so these
or
things
yeah.
make me happy just became the new
Landing.
the new landing, yeah, the new belief system. So when things get rough, then the opposite goes, these things are not making me happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Which is plenty. Okay.
yeah. So it's almost like then you're now gaslighting yourself that these things are making me happy, right?
And it's
And
all a
and
belief.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's all a belief, and all of a sudden the breakdown, the dam breaks basically, and you're like, I can't keep it together anymore. I'm back into my thinking again, kind of thing.
And so basically it's just going in between.
In
It's
between,
just
well,
I don't want to say practice because
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
even yeah.
It's a practice to get rid of practice, basically, right? Because it's use it and then throw it away.
Okay.
Don't make it into a constant. Because the mind again will create anything that's said, and I'm not going to make myself special that that even anything that I say can create a landing. But I'm direct and brutal enough to say that lose that too. That's why if you've seen my videos, I go to many different angles with it, right? So
Mhm.
I meet people where they're at to throw them off where they're at.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I ask, who have you, what was your history of seeking and everything. Um, it's because similarly to you, I have also done all the stuff that you've done. I've done the Joe Dispenza, and did you go
Sorry.
to Mexico?
No, I wanted to. My husband tried to talk me out of it. He's like, "You don't need it. You're fine." But it was like wanting more, wanting, hoarding,
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
said. Yeah, I agree. I
It
agree
becomes the new it
100%.
becomes the new addiction of the mind. Basically, the mind wants to create a narrative that I need that. But ultimately, the audience of any of these teachings or whatever is just to reinforce the mind over and over again. Again, there's nothing wrong with the mind, and there's no mind to reinforce. What's between mind and no mind?
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess what happens because just like you or anybody else, I use my mind so much. I think this is my instrument.
Yes.
And that's all I use to try to even figure this out. Right. And
Yeah.
so, and I know you say keep it out, you keep it out of the
Yeah.
equation. It has nothing to do with the mind.
It
But
has nothing to do with the mind. Yeah. And if you look at little babies, if you look at like, dementia, sweet old, senior home with dementia, and they're back into that innocence, right? My grandma, for example, was carrying a baby doll in her twilight years, right? Or her twilight years, no, at the end of her life, basically,
yeah,
and could
yeah.
not remember who or she was talking to, um and she had this beautiful gummy, like she had dentures, so she didn't have, sometimes she would not wear dentures, and she was the sweetest thing. Reminds
No.
me of just a little baby, right? And when here I was with my self-imposed PhD in seeking that everything was a dissertation for me. It's like
Mhm.
I'm I'm creating a thesis in my head about what this is all the time, right? So I was turning every single rock
Mhm.
to take a look under to see if I'm missing something, right? Because I wanted to do well. And I guess I used my mind as my tool, and of course when the undoing of something that was never done with started to fall apart, I remember trying to grasp words and beliefs. And I'm like, there was a big short circuiting because my investment was so, like, I had a mountain. I was like sitting on a mountain of thoughts, basically. And then when I saw that the mountain that I was sitting at were not really there, it was just all imagined. Like, for example, what are you without language at this second?
I, I guess the observer is what I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but take away the observer because that's just more language. Yeah.
Stupid mind wants to keep coming in.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Take away that observer again. The mind can only construct stuff from the past. So if you take away the past and take away the future, then what do you have left?
Yeah, I mean, it's lovely. It feels
Hmm.
great. I tend to feel like this in the morning.
Yeah,
Um, I notice that everything is just sparkling and just,
yeah.
yeah.
But don't
No,
make a case about the morning again so that you make a case about the future. I know where you're going with this, right? You're
no.
saying that everything is great, but what happens when life, you turn on YouTube and you start hearing news or whatever, that kind of thing. Um, what do you with that experiencer of the morning? Because it's not here. If we're really being brutally honest, is there an experiencer here? Or is just a thought?
No, it's a
No.
thought.
Yeah. I can say that
It's
everything is a thought, that becomes another landing. Because everything is thought is a thought too. But you know what I'm trying to get at, right? So there's no way out of the mind in thoughts. But since thoughts are um, fabricated, you were never in it anyway. There's no I that was in it anyway. Again, for example, if you're looking at an animal, you know what I'm saying, like a little dog or something, they're full of expression, right? But you can tell that there's no thought in there. You know what I'm saying? There's just no
really though. My dogs, yeah, they're thinking, they're scheming, they're always trying to get a treat or something.
in the moment.
Manipulate in the moment.
In the moment,
Okay.
yeah. In the moment, right? The body keeps score, so that's why when, for example, like those poor abused dogs, right? When you traumatize them, their body remembers, but they're also quick to trust in the moment, right? It's always in the moment. And again, this is just a wild, I guess this might sound like a landing, but there's no other moment as it's just this. We're just thinking that there was a past or there's a future. It's almost like that language, thought, beliefs are just alien to what this is.
Mm.
There
So
was a
then,
talk about that actually, that someone kept, many people actually kept sending me. It's actually from the University of Toronto that language is a foreign, like an alien, basically.
what does that mean? Sorry.
That it's not natural, basically. It's something that is not like, for
Mm.
example, we learned language. I love language. Like people misconstrue sometimes what I say. Well, we have to use language. I'm like, I love language. That's what I do here. You know what I'm saying? I'm using language to unlock the language.
Mm.
Because when you're caught up in that belief of language, wars start, right? And deception and all that kind of stuff, right? And and then if you start looking really, really directly, and again, I have to use language to be able to express this, right? There is almost like a horizontalness in the way that we think. But if you flip it to the vertical, the past and the future just is not there. From here to here.
Mhm. Because you're moment to moment
Yeah,
or moment.
yeah. And you can say that, that's what people call enlightenment or whatever, right? That people are just present or whatever. Um, but again, even when you're not present, you're present. It's just the thought that you're not present. And there's not even a you to be present or a non you to be not present. It's just language, is what I'm trying to present. It's a trickster. Language is the trickster. Because if you take away language at this moment, is there any separation?
No. But
Yeah.
what do you mean by separation?
Like you and
I
I
didn't.
separate, you and the air separate, you and the leaves behind you separate, you and the colors separate, you and um
There it is.
yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So here's my mind again.
No, it's okay.
How, how do I stay here?
I just shaved and I shaved a part of my hair and I keep on seeing it. Sorry.
You're so funny.
I was just trimming
You're
and I was like,
so
oh,
funny.
I have
Oh, I don't
a
even notice that.
it's okay. I was like
You're so funny. I don't even notice it. I
for
don't
quite a
notice.
while my beard was not growing fine. There was an app on Zoom that made my beard fuller. I should put that back on.
You're so funny. There's an actual app.
There
So
is
just
on Zoom, yeah.
min really?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
wow.
It's actually built in Zoom and it's just
Oh, how funny.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you look great. You look so young. You look
Oh, thank
so,
you.
so young. Yeah, I think you're the same age as my husband. Um,
71?
i- 71, and he
Yeah.
was born in October. He's 10/10. Yeah.
Oh, nice. For almost
Yeah,
like
yeah.
birthday twins, October 8th.
Oh, fun. Oh, how funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys are so much alike. He loves his alternative British bands. Yeah, I mean, it's the age group too, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love my yeah, I love
You like
I mean
everything though.
I like
You like
everything. I like
everything. Yeah.
everything. I was just listening to salsa music earlier and
Uh-huh.
Celia Celia Tito Puente and
Oh yeah.
Celia Cruz, right? So it's
Uh,
oh my goodness, it's just an explosion of beautiful sounds, right? And but I also like my Radiohead, which includes all of the Tom York, he has a band called The Smile, and he made another album. It's so good.
yeah.
I like artists basically that are prolific and
Mhm.
are always growing and always evolving, right? So
Mm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you like to dance too,
I love dancing. Yeah,
huh?
I was doing a cleanup earlier, which became more like a dance party. I was just
Ah,
well,
cool.
salsa music, you have to dance.
You have to. Oh, good. Wow, you're that good? Salsa dancing.
Salsa
I'm
dancing, yeah.
impressed.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
used to go to this my 20s and everybody was older. I used to go to this Latin club called Babalu, right? So
oh, how
so good.
cute.
And then they had some Latin dancing and ever since I was a little kid, my mom, I was a dancer from the very get-go. She used to put me in little dance competitions, you know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
yeah, and I would win
That's
it. I would win it.
really,
Hmm.
it's so nice. It's
Yeah,
so much fun.
but you
It's
know what?
so,
But they course corrected that because they didn't want me to be an artist. They wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer because I'm the eldest in an Asian family, right? So, but they did, you know what? They did. I did play piano. So what kind of like with what David Bingham is? It's like kind of like what he's saying is follow your bliss, right? So,
and so you're
and
back to that. You're back
I'm back into
to,
the wordless. Like I love creating stuff. I just got into a little bit of music production with the help of AI. I'm not the best music producer, but with the help of AI, I'm like, what the hell is going on? So you're probably going to hear a bunch of music coming out. Yeah, yeah,
yay.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I recorded a couple of tracks, like I did some spoken track and I tested it first with AI and it's just amazing, amazing, right? So it cuts the work into like a quarter basically because music production is so tedious. It's just like you have to lay all the tracks and then you have to, but with AI, you could present an idea basically and put some stems of like drum tracks and bass, and then it corrects the pitch, it corrects the rhythm.
Wow.
So it does a lot of work. And there's even AI that just could completely create a new song, out of like from scratch, basically, with vocals and everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
is
two
is your
bro
husband into that too, into that music?
Yeah, I mean, he's a Depeche Mode fan,
Oh, I
basically.
love
He's
Depeche Mode.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
I
he likes the
remember when the
mhm.
first Depeche Mode cassette
W
tape that I owned. I
uh,
think it was called Speak and Spell. It was back in early
yes,
80s.
yes. Was it Speak and Spell? Yeah, something spells. Yeah,
Living Construction Time again, and I've seen them in concert several times, right? So, and then I used
yeah,
to have this friend that used to collect all the vinyls, all of the singles, and they're worth a lot now, right? So,
yeah.
but yeah.
George Michael's, that's another good one
Oh
he
yeah,
really
yeah.
loves. Yeah.
He has this album, Listen Without Prejudice. It's just one of the best
Hmm.
produced albums, right? It's just like wow. And I
Yes.
love that he shifted from, being this ultra pop star into something that was just that just wanted to make good music, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
became very honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great
Yeah.
stuff. Wham was good too.
Brown was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so
Yeah.
many. I love The Cure.
Yeah, The Cure, of course.
I also like, who else do I like? I like OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy?
Pet Shop Boys was great
Pet Shop
too.
Boys, of
Tears for
course.
Fears were amazing. Tears for Fears were talking about trauma in their albums.
I know.
Isn't
Oh,
that wild?
really?
Yeah. The first album is called The Hurting, and it has a little child sitting.
Yeah.
Talks
They were
about
definitely.
mad world all around me, a
Yeah.
familiar faces.
Yeah.
Wow. I should do a music podcast with your
You
husband.
should.
Yeah.
It's so funny as I was sitting here because he's just doing it for the love of it. Him and
Yeah.
his cousin, they're just having such a good time doing it. And I told him, I said, why don't you do music? Because they love their music. Yeah, alternative.
Yeah. Yeah. I just bought the Clash vinyl.
Mm. Oh, wow.
Wow. Right? It's just, because I've listened to it in what we used to do because we're poor is we would copy a cassette version of the
Yes.
Clash, right? And they're not the best quality, especially if we used to have a byway, which is like a super cheap, like Walmart, right? But
Uh-huh.
back in the 80s and 90s. And so we
Uh-huh.
get the cheapest cassette tape and we would copy it. So when I heard the Clash on vinyl on really good speakers, I was just like, oh my, they're actually really good. They're such a good band, right? The
Yeah.
Ramones, Nine Inch Nails. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But you like everything.
I do. I do.
Your
Yeah.
hearing is like, yeah, you just pick up everything.
Yeah. Well, my first toy as a kid was a record player, and my grandfather had a record store in his general store. And I remember my mom, telling me, she always tells this story actually, that people thought that I could read at like 1 years old because I started talking really early. And I would recommend songs basically in the record store. And I'm like, yeah, try this one. This is really, really good. Like they said that I really like Superstition by Stevie Wonder at that
Oh,
time.
I love
Yeah,
Stevie.
yeah, yeah. So what do you do out there, Sheila?
I'm a dentist.
Oh, nice,
I'm a dentist. Yeah.
nice, nice. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I think that's, very well, my dad was a dentist. He passed away. But yeah, I just kind of followed in his footsteps and we're both thinkers,
Yeah,
so we're pretty strong on that one.
yeah.
So,
Well, you need good math and science to be able to go to dentistry, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
But eventually, yeah,
Yeah, my
it gets
family is
acquired.
all medical too, and some
Oh,
dental.
really?
My uncle's a dentist. So my dad's side of the family has three doctors, one dentist, one nurse.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh my gosh.
then my
Yeah.
mom's side of the family, her father is a doctor, and one is a veterinary. I can't remember
Hmm.
the rest, but yeah, but my sister is a nurse. My brother
Wow.
is in medical technologies, right? So
Nice.
So I'm the black sheep.
Yeah, you are. What did you do initially?
I just went to communications, and I was a communications director for companies, and I did a little bit of marketing, a little bit of, you know, basically corporate
Hmm.
um, um, corporate ladder, climbing basically. So when I get into that top, when I was like really young, I made good money. I also saw that that was empty, that there was
Yeah.
something missing. Ironically, when I got into that enlightenment, I also saw that as something's missing.
Mm.
It was a trap, right? So imagine you're in your 30s, probably like, I don't have a good timeline. My timeline's all screwed up because my brain is not here. In my 30s, my late 30s, it was more suffering actually. Just even in the beginning, there's a lot of bliss, kind of like a lot of people's awakening. And then you realize a lot of people are counting on you. Then it becomes such a heavy burden. Then you're responsible for people. And then that teacher student relationship is codependent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's
You,
just a revolving door of trauma and suffering, basically.
right.
And then you get frustrated because it's almost like earnestly you start doing it because you want to help others. And then you realize that you can't really help them. So it becomes this big facade, right? And then you do your satsangs and meetings and teacher trainings and retreats. And it's just a never, what? It's just a circular. It's like a merry-go-round for people. And then at one point you start, doubting everything. That's why I love what I do now is just a very direct, I don't have any followers. People that I've met before. I used to have meetings like monthly here in Toronto. And it's been about almost 2 years now that I haven't had a meeting here.
Really?
The people that attended it, we just go out for dinners and outings and stuff. I started seeing that as I'm like, okay, am I beginning to develop a following here? And I love the internet for that is because everybody's from around the world. Whereabouts are you?
I live in Malibu, California.
Oh, nice. That's why it's sunshiny there.
Yeah, a little too sunny today. Yeah, it's warm. And
Nice.
tomorrow is Thanksgiving here, so
Happy Thanksgiving.
thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting together with family. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
I was
Yeah.
just talking to someone that Canadian Thanksgiving is not as wild or intense as American. Canadians is more like, okay, we'll have a turkey, maybe some ham. That's it. And, and it's in the first week of October, right? So it's not too close to Christmas.
Ah, okay.
Of
Yeah,
course,
I
the
didn't know that.
Americans, yeah, the Americans,
Oh,
of course, make it more, more intense and
it's always a big deal. Everything's
yeah,
a big deal.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But it is what it is. So do you have family coming over, or are you going to family?
No, I'm going to my mom's. Yeah.
Okay.
And everyone will be there. There'll be like 20 of us, all the new little kids. The my cousins all had kids, so they're gonna be there. And yeah,
So what
everybody.
happens in those events is the mind starts comparing.
Mm,
The thoughts get a little bit alerted, of heightened, so to speak, is because you have so many eyes on you. And then the trigger points are more susceptible to being, triggered. Um, so what do you without the comparison of others?
I mean, nothing.
Yeah. I was just talking to someone that basically was talking about Thanksgiving, and what usually happens is she starts comparing other people, right? And she said it's just a sly way about it. She goes, "Well, I don't really compare." And I'm like, "Well, you're comparing that. You're not." And she goes, "Damn it, Emerson, you're right." Or it's like, I don't have any judgments anymore. The judgment just has gone underground. Now you're judging that you're not judging. Now you're judging that you're judging. It's all a mental game if you look at it. It's quite fascinating. It's like,
So
you know
what?
what? We use this language as Siri. It's artificial. It's intelligent,
Mhm.
but it's not us.
Mm.
It's not who you are. But somehow we're convinced that that's what we are.
So language takes us away from everything, to our away from our true nature in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Although that's just more language, but yeah, you're never really away from true nature because you're the true nature. Without the you, of course. Everything is the true nature. And even take away that word, that becomes another landing. Let's just say that the language just took like a prominence, took center stage. For me, thoughts, language, me, self, consciousness, awareness are all the same. It's just language. It's just a shape-shifting illusion of what you are not. It's like a Shakespearean character. Sometimes it's really tragic, right? It's like, but kind of like what Shakespeare said, right? All the world is a stage. But there's also no actors in it. It's empty. And again, that's just more thoughts.
So when do the thoughts stop?
Well, that's just another thought, right? So what's between thoughts and no thoughts? Look at it as a never unfolding in the present moment, not in the next, right? Because if you look for the next, then you're caught up in thoughts again. So the unfoldment is very gradual for a lot of people. If it's really sudden, then you won't be able to speak for a while, right? Basically, and that happens sometimes, right?
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I couldn't speak for a little bit. I was just like stunned. But my bottleneck of thinking was so thick, right? That when it kind of
Mm.
like went,
Wow.
yeah,
Once you
it's
could
it's
speak, you're
it's
saying.
like a it's like a like a champagne bottle that's been shook up, right? And when you open it, it just
Mm.
explodes, and then you're like, I couldn't even hold on to it anymore. Um, but my thinking was so rapid because I have done all the techniques. I've done the doer, non-doer, and at one point I was like tapping, doing I had a rosary in my pocket just in case it's really Catholic. It's true, you know what I'm saying? And I had like a Shiva somewhere, like a
Oh.
statue of Shiva. I have a Kuan Yin, from the compassionate. Um, yeah. So I was worshiping everything in my mind. Is what I'm trying to say. The observer is maintaining the mind by worshiping it. But if you take away the observer, if you take away what's between the observer and the observed,
No.
mhm, yeah. And again, it's just more languaging, right? The more that, if you look at it, it's just, and people will say that, well, it can't really just be that simple. Well, even simple is a language.
Yeah. It's defining it again.
Hmm.
Okay. So I know a habitual, or that's a thought, but something that I am accustomed to do is always think of the next that will make me happy.
Yeah, what are you without that observer?
I'm back here again.
Yeah, yeah. For some odd reason, without me trying or not trying, I'm doing things like music production, dancing around, cleaning. You know what I'm saying? Cleaning is such a beautiful chore now because I just turn on the music. I'm like, and it becomes everything is the bliss basically. Everything makes me happy somehow. But during difficult times, like my family just went into some health scare. My two brothers ended up, if you probably heard, ended up in the hospital. One after the other. One had a heart issue, and then the other one had triple bypass surgery.
Oh my gosh. And they're
Hmm.
younger than you.
They're younger than me. They're not even 50 yet. They're 49, right? So their birthday's coming up. They're turning 50,
Yay.
but one, it's going
Oh
to be
my
a good
God.
sober celebration. No drinks for them.
They like drinking.
We
They're
were
big drink.
all party animals. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? There's four boys, right? So our friends collectively, you know what I'm saying, hung out, right? And we just had a bottle and played guitar, and um, went to clubs when the clubbing was in.
Uh,
And so yeah, so when a week before that, before they had both, one brother had a heart issue. The next day, the other brother did. They're twins. Isn't that wild?
but it happens, right? I
Yeah.
mean, twins tend to,
Well, they're
yeah,
they're
it
genetically
can.
genetically the same, and they live in close proximity with each other. So whatever the other one is doing, the other one is doing too. Yeah. So it became um yeah, it's that's they're doing well now. They're doing well.
Good,
Yeah.
good,
Yeah. Yeah.
good. I'm
But yeah,
happy.
so even during that difficult time, there was a quietness here. I was the one that stayed the most at the hospital with my sister, right? Just was there. Um, Made sure that there was this just this quietness, just this peacefulness around what was happening. So even through the most difficult time, there's spaciousness, whatever it is. Before I was super in my head. Right now, you know what? Because you make it about you. The mind always makes it about you.
I know.
Because the mind always wants to be the lead role in the imaginary play of a life perceived by language.
Mm.
Life has nothing to do with language. I'm just reading this sci-fi book that is more mainstream. It's called Project Hail Mary, and
Oh,
it's about to be a movie or something. It's the sun is dying, or there's a shift in the sun. So there's this high school teacher that ended up in a spaceship and then ended up meeting aliens, basically, that didn't have a mouth, didn't have um, eyes. They just had like they're like spiders, basically. And the way that they communicate is they're trying to adapt. I'm midway through it, so I don't know what's happening yet. But I love the way that they presented language is just like almost like they're doing sign language because they don't
mm.
speak. And I've been fascinated by language. Like I just found out that some indigenous cultures in Australia don't have a next in their vocabulary. They don't
So
have tomorrow.
they don't make plants.
Yeah. And in my own language, in Tagalog, right, we don't have pronouns.
Mm.
We don't have she or he.
Mm.
So when all of this debacle about pronouns, I'm like, I don't understand. in the in our
I
country, it's
know.
not an issue, right?
I can't get used to it.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Maybe because we're Gen Xers, you know what I'm saying?
Probably.
But
Yeah.
to each its own. You know what? But in our country, if you go to the Philippines, they'll call you sir, ma'am. Up to now.
Hmm.
Yeah. Again, language is a fabrication. For example, if you're looking at a tree, we call that tree collectively. We just agreed to call that a tree collectively, but it's not really a tree. What are you looking at with that language?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, so then when you get your emotions involved,
Yeah.
what
Without the
does
I, without the I, without the language, what's an emotion? Like, for example, if there's a direct kind of like, if there's a direct, if you look at elephants, for example, right? You know what? They do mourn, they do grieve momentarily. They'll pause and then they'll walk away. It's in the moment. If somebody dies, they'll stop and pause, right? And honor. I don't know what they do, or just inventing language again, you know what I'm saying, of what they do.
Mhm.
But for example, in my country, they will put that body in a casket and it will be in the house for like 40 days.
Mm.
They'll
Yeah,
embalm it, right? And everybody cries out and everything. And there's some culture that has different ways of honoring the dead, basically, but it's based on language again, based on belief system. There's some Chinese culture that they would hire whipping women because they believe that the more people cry, the more luck or something. I don't know. But that's what I
or
mean. So every single belief is absurd because it's made up. Yet we believe that our beliefs are normal, which is still a belief. For one part of the country, you know what I'm saying, one part of the world, hiring, weeping, actors to cry at your wedding is normal. For me, it's like, oh, that's weird.
that's really weird.
Yeah, that's what I mean. For example, another place don't understand what the next is, but for us, that's normal. There's a tribe I talk about this in my talks because I'm fascinated by language, right? So, um, language and music, I'm fascinated by. Even what I do is communications, basically, which is
Mhm.
what I did for work as well before. Um, and when I was in a corporate, I was also a corporate trainer. So there's something about language that is very spellbinding.
Mm.
We're just spellbound in a trance, in a spell of language. And then sometimes we get intoxicated with it. We get a little bit obsessive with it. Like, for example, when you probably heard about manifestation or enlightenment, you're like, yep, I want that. That's what I want in my life. And if you look at your life, you're already a dentist, you have a husband, it's complete at this moment. What is there else to seek if you take away the words?
Yeah, it's only when the mind comes back in
Yeah,
that does the comparison, that says it could be better, or you will be happy, or once
yeah,
again, I will be happy if I do this. That's the thing. I plan out my days. And so because I have that, everything is constructed for me.
hmm,
And when it comes off of that line, then I'm unhappy or
yeah.
I'm frustrated.
So you've created conditions for your happiness then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay to plan, day to be happy too, you know what I'm saying? But when it doesn't happen to be that way, then it's okay too. They're not being happy, be happy with not being happy. Be at ease with whatever seems to be appearing. And again, that's just more narrative. What's between? What if you don't have any expectations because there's no next? What are you without expectations?
How is there no next? That's the thing. I mean, at least this is what my mind pops
Hmm.
in every time because I'm a planner, there is a
Hmm.
next because I'm
You're
going to be
planning
happy
in the
with.
moment.
Mm,
It's always in the moment, right? But the next is just a thought. It's okay. You know what? I also plan. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I don't
yeah.
plan anymore. Um, but in the moment, I'm not caught up with the thought of the next anymore. It doesn't come up for me anymore. Meaning that the neurosis of the next, the anxiety of the next, I guess I'm coming from the narrative of someone that had a hidden severe anxiety situation. I was maintaining a calm presence when I was freaking out in my head all the time, kind of thing. Right. So
Yeah, I'm good at that too.
yeah.
Or I used to be, let's just say.
No,
But
at one point you can't hide it. It's like you either lead a double life or your life becomes a fabrication. You're making up stuff in your life
yeah,
because you can't seem to face the fracturing of going to the next is when somehow you convince yourself that um this moment is not enough. And again, that's just more language. What's between not enough and enough? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, you know what people call it, like, like like almost like having no ideas, like being a child, Buddha mind, basically, beginner's mind, right? Because that groves in our mind that gets stuck. It's like a broken record, right? It will just keep on getting stuck. Of I have to maintain happiness. So when you get thrown off, then the mind creates a revolt, basically.
It does.
It does, right? Yeah,
That's when it comes back, right? As
yeah,
David would say, like invitations after invitations. Yeah.
yeah. But what if you go in between, invitation or no invitation?
It's funny. It feels blurry, but
Mhm.
it's very clear at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone actually said that too. It feels like not clear but clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the mind doesn't have a focal point in it. It's not through the lens of the mind anymore, right? So
Okay. That
yeah,
sounds fun.
it is. It is fun, right? It's like a because you know what the my old path of enlightenment was, I reached the top of it. Being a teacher, and so a lot of people think that being kind of like that enlightened person, what I'm saying, with the robe and everything, that's the ultimate. It's one of the biggest trap for me anyway, right? It was like, I'm like, do I really, you mean I can't listen to Sex Pistols anymore? And no more, I can't listen to Violator by Depeche Mode, because I love this. My favorite Depeche Mode song is Sea of Sin.
Oh,
Sea of Sin.
take you
Mhm.
in. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
It
such a good
gets
song.
better. Yeah, that's a beautiful song, right?
The beats are good. That's why.
The beats are good. And it just,
Mhm.
um, so yeah, so I was like, and I was listening to this sitar music with flutes and everything. And um, I think one of my breakdowns that I don't talk about is just one day I just threw out my speakers. I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm faking it. I don't like this music. And I had a harmonium that I would carry around to,
Oh my
what I'm saying?
god. Oh my gosh.
And I smelled like nagchampa, like I literally had nagchampa soap, you know what I'm saying? And
You were trying hard,
I was trying
as
hard.
as we all do.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I just really wanted to eat at one point.
I know I became vegan too, and but I mean I have empathy for animals. That's
I
really
do too.
why.
I do too, to be honest, right? It's not like, it's so I understand it completely. Um but at the same time, when you're not compassionate to yourself, then it becomes almost like a disorder, an eating disorder.
Mm.
And I was just making the animals as an excuse now. I was not being genuine about it. It's like that moment when I was reading that book from Ram Dass, because after the apparent enlightenment or awakening, it led me more to more seeking because I kept on hearing about all of this more enlightened beings than me.
Mm.
Of course, the ego, the mind, the character doesn't want that, right? So you're like, is my realization the same? So comparison's the thief of what this is. I'm like, I heard that he's ultra vegan. I'm like, well, I guess I have to go vegan too.
Yeah, you parrot. You start to
Yeah.
parrot, you mimic. That was like my
The,
one thing when I was growing up. I said, okay, you just have to find someone that's super successful, whatever it is that you really like, just imitate them to the fullest.
that's what it
That's
is. Yeah. The grass is more enlightened than the next ashram. So,
you're
it's
so funny.
so you keep on looking for the next ashram or the next, monastery or the next guru and everything, right? So, but but they're just really trying to express in language that's designed for the mind. So that's the codependencies because the teacher can't let go of that position because there'll be no need for him to be a teacher or a speaker. So if you look at the model of teaching is that it attains and attains people, right? So there's the anomaly, people like David Bingham, I guess, that does one and one to end seeking, right? So
Yeah.
no, I didn't even, you know what, researched so many people. I followed so many people. I've heard of David Bingham, but I did not get to him because I was more into the radical at that point.
Yeah, he's okay,
I
let's
heard
not
he's a
go
great guy, so
he is. And I think that's why I liked you so much is because you remind me of him. That it's a gentle, you're both very gentle. But yeah, you're more radical, but he's yeah, he's his key is just you've always been this effortless being, just be the effortless being and stay respectful to yourself. That's it. Be
that's a
kind to
beautiful
yourself.
message too. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I really liked it. I thought, okay, this
yeah,
is great until it
yeah,
started up again.
yeah. And that's the same thing with the radical, message. There's no you, there's no me. So that should be the end of it. Perfect, awesome. Um, but it becomes a bit nihilistic for a lot of people. It becomes depressing. So if there's no purpose to life, then what am I doing here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked listening to Tony Parsons. I just didn't understand what he was saying. So it's yeah, it's an evolution. It's really an evolution because
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
probably wouldn't understand you if it wasn't for David.
That's
So
right. Yeah.
because I came from a place of energy and take your energy up and be
Yeah.
happy
I'm
and
actually getting a lot of people that are doing energy healing, energy work, Reiki, manifestation, all that kind of stuff like that. And the way the and what I'm trying to express, what I'm saying is not contradictory to any of that. I'm not poo-pooing anyone anymore. Because before, right, there's almost more in the radical that, that's just a teaching or that's still but to me it doesn't matter anymore. Teaching, no teaching. Energy, no energy. Because they're just all words. Doing, not doing. Manifesting, not manifesting. It's just opposites, basically.
yeah.
And the directness of this is, again, it's very simple. What do you believe at this instance if you cannot make a reference to the past or the future?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the search is over right here. Not in the next, not in the past. It's always right here. The end of seeking is now, not the next now or another version of now, right? It's just right here. But the mind doesn't want that because it wants more.
So it's basically just recognizing that and not giving attention to it.
Or
Yeah.
take away the observer.
Or take away the observer.
Yeah. Or whatever language that you want to use, but seeing that the language is fabricated. All right. Thank you so much,
Right.
Sheila.
Thank